My name is Chockla. I earned my PhD from the University of Texas at Austin. I've been involved with a couple startups around town, science-based startups, and I want to talk a little bit about science and entrepreneurship, how they work, and why it's important for scientists to be involved with entrepreneurship. So the way research typically takes place is a research scientist will have an idea to address a problem that they've identified. They need a way to fund their research, so they brainstorm a few ideas, write up a proposal, and they get their idea funded. Then they carry out their research, they write reports, they submit their findings to the community at large, and this opens up a discussion in the scientific community, and then the process essentially repeats itself. Now, I could have described the same process, only replace research scientists with entrepreneurs, and it would have been equally valid, because that's exactly what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs, like research scientists, they think outside the box, they're on the cutting edge, and they view the world in a different light. They see opportunity in problems. They see a problem and they create a solution to address that problem. But just like scientists, the entrepreneur needs a way to fund their ideas. They need a way to fund their ventures. It's typically done through small business loans or government grants or venture capital funding. They get their project funded, they develop a new product or service, and then they release that product or service to the community at large. But that begs the question, why is entrepreneurship important to science? Some argue that the sole purpose of science is to increase the knowledge base and understand fundamentals of science and technology, and that science becomes tainted when entrepreneurship enters the mix, when the concept of commercialization or product development enters the mix. But these two things don't necessarily have to live in separate worlds. As scientists are becoming more aware of the fact that commercialization is very important, and that they can use their science and technology to address a lot of real-world problems, and they're taking these ideas and these concepts to market more frequently now. And there's a lot of opportunity for scientists in this area. So to give an example, take a look at pretty much any research article anywhere. Most of them, the author in the introduction, they'll introduce a new concept or theory or technology or material system that they claim can be used for a wide variety of applications. Take, for example, a scientist that develops a material system that can be used as a battery electrode or a chemical sensor or as a scaffold to promote cell growth. And these are all great areas that innovation could really advance technology and really address some challenging problems that are facing various industries these days. But the big problem is that once the findings have been reported for these new discoveries, these new material systems, the technology itself often sits on the shelf. And this is where the greatest opportunity is for scientists in entrepreneurship. You see, at research institutions, especially universities where a lot of this type of research takes place, the process of product commercialization, of taking a technology and creating a product out of it, is typically handled by the tech transfer office. But I would argue that these methods, that this process should actually be enacted by the scientist that develops the technology. Nobody has more at stake than the developing scientist. Nobody knows more about the technology than the developing scientist. And no one stands to gain more or lose from the success or failure than that scientist. And because of that reason, I think the scientist is most well poised to advance that technology. So moving forward, I really hope to see science and entrepreneurship, especially research and entrepreneurship, become synonymous with one another and become indistinguishable.